Hey guys, Kai here, and today we're going over the mysterious Watch Dogs Legion. Not very much is known, with the only info being from the 2019 E3 show and some recent links that have been surfaced. But the Ubisoft Forward event is almost upon us, and with that we should learn a lot more. Hit that like button if you enjoy this content, and don't forget to sub to keep up to date with the Watch Dogs Legion. Now, let's dive in. Watch Dogs Legion made its debut at E3 in 2019 and had an initial release date of March 6, 2020. But with the pandemic and even the cleaning house going on at Ubisoft, it has since been delayed until 2020 or to 2021. Speaking on the release date, I would think that Ubisoft will plan to release the game in 2021. This fall just seems too competitive, especially with AC Valhalla coming out in October if their past releases indicate anything. And November is Cyberpunk, and nobody wants to compete with that. So I would guesstimate a February, March, or even April release for Watch Dogs. I could see maybe a December release, but people will still be playing Cyberpunk by then, which is why I believe it'll come out in 2021. Legion takes place post-Brexit London, when an authoritarian regime has taken over the United Kingdom. This regime uses a technology called CTOS, which is an advanced surveillance system that watches over the entire country. The main protagonist group you play as is DedSec. The first thing I want to focus on is the post-Brexit London era. This is really interesting that this was chosen as a time and location. At the time of development, Brexit was probably at its highest media coverage and popularity, but that was months ago, and personally I don't know many people talking about it anymore. At any rate, it's just a minor detail. Players will mostly be focused on hacking everything and being anyone anyways. And that brings me to my next point of Legion. Well, the main point actually. I mentioned earlier that players play as a DedSec group and not as a single main protagonist. This is because in Legion, you can play as anyone in the game. Yes, that is correct. Literally anyone in the game can be brought into the DedSec and used as a playable character. The E3 2019 event went pretty viral since they showed someone playing as a grandma. Yeah, a grandma. If that doesn't say pushing video game boundaries, I don't know what does. Now, while this is a pretty cool idea, I want to bring up a concern. If there is no main protagonist to the story, how do people connect to the game and why do they care? Valhalla's story evolves around Eivor and Cyberpunk has V. I feel it's really hard to connect if you can just beat anybody. I mean, they do have permadeath, so if you die, that person's gone the rest of the game. But I'm worried that players won't connect with the story if you can just beat anybody. And maybe that's just me, maybe players won't care. Or maybe the story is going to be done so well it will make sense in the end. I personally feel this is the big issue Ubisoft could have with the game. But if it's just going to be a goofy hacking party like a Saints Row-esque type of game, and that's what Ubisoft is aiming for, then it could work in their favor. This is one of my main concerns for the game, and hopefully it works out. Now, focusing more on the specifics, each character can be one of 3 classes. These include the Enforcer, which is a combat focus with specialization in guns and damage, and they have the ability to use sticky mines. The Infiltrator, which is a stealthy type that has a spider bot and a specialization with a remote control. I'm not sure what that means, but hopefully we find out soon. And there is the Hacker, who uses an AR cloak and specializes in stealth and melee. Now when you're looking to recruit a new character to play as, you can scan them with your phone and it shows bonus stats and abilities. From the gameplay, we see here that Jimmy is a drone expert with a 40% bonus drone damage and a negative 10% drone HP. It even shows occupation and other info. This is a pretty cool thing to see since it will easily allow you to see the stats quickly of anyone you're trying to recruit. I like this a lot, and I think it makes it very streamlined, so when you're looking at stats and trying to find the best person for a certain job, or to find the most ridiculous character you can. Now, there have been leaks recently that have shown more light on what a character may bring to the table. I don't know how old this build is, so it could be completely outdated, but I still want to go over it. So the leaks had a couple pictures of some characters and their abilities. So each person could have their own abilities as well as bonus stats. From this picture, we see a football hooligan, soccer if you're American, and he has 2 abilities on him. One is a rally cry, which calls friends to help in fights. I wonder if this only works if you're near friends or if you use it to just run out of nowhere and start fighting. The next ability is Tough Drunk, which reduces the damage taken. Now, if we look closer, we see that he is an Infiltrator class with a spider bot. In Legion, you pick the class you want the character when you recruit them, so this will allow for some nice mix and matching when you make your DedSec army. It'll be interesting to see how overpowered some characters could become with the right stats and classes. Having a tanky, stealthy character could be something OP. The next leaked picture was that of a spy, which I would think would be a higher tier character you can recruit. It appears that they don't have bonus abilities, but instead bonus tech or items. He has a Silence MP9, a spy watch that jams enemy weapons, and a spy car that has missiles and a cloak. So it's interesting that there seems to be maybe a rare type of person to acquire to your DedSec army. I wonder how difficult it is to do this, or how many more rare careers there could be. And the final leak picture shows a correctional officer with the ability of a uniform access, able to use a baton, and a bailout ability that releases a team arrest. What stands out here is the red thumbs down. To me, this indicates the player could not recruit this person yet, which implies higher level careers, if you will require a certain level or recruit level to acquire them. And this really makes sense. It would slow down the rate at which a player can beat the game. You couldn't go out and acquire a super OP person right off the bat and have an easy time. Again, this is me speculating, but it would make total sense if this is how it worked in Legion. And that's about all we know about Watch Dogs Legions, guys. It's been kept under wraps very well since it was delayed. I kind of see this one going in a very goofy, ridiculous route, and that might not be a bad thing. Let me know down below if you think it could be going that way as well. We'll be learning more at the Ubisoft Forward event. If you enjoyed this video, click the one coming up for more, or the ones I'll have pinned down in the description below. Don't forget to sub if you enjoyed the content and want more Watch Dogs Legions info. And until next time, peace.